Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast. This week, we'll be talking about a man on a mission to save football's soul and to entertain the masses. It's not a popular decision. Well, people are saying, I want him out. He hasn't got a clue. What's the phrase he used? He wants to be the best transition team in football.
But he's ignoring the scoring part of it as well.
He didn't say scoring. He said transition.
Yeah. As long as we're running up and down the pitch all game.
You can transition from defense to attack without really defending or attacking, but you're transitioning into the two.
Yeah. He's good at that. He is good at having a game turn on its head within a few seconds.
Oh, yeah. He really keeps it fresh, every game. It's crazy that we're talking about Erik ten Hag and Man United again because they're still 6th, 7th in the table.
This is a new era for Man United where it's not that they're talked about every week now because, oh my God, another disaster. They're so terrible. It's now they have the best game of the week every week because they've just it's
their game of the round.
It. What does it matter? We're in 7th. Who cares? Just give it a go, lads.
Patented game of the round every week. 2 weeks running anyway.
Yeah.
Back-to-back game of the round. They played Liverpool this week. We've said this now so many times that it's become wrong. Well, that when they play, it's a bad game. Now it's the opposite. Every time they play, it's a great game because Man United managed to drag Liverpool up to their exciting level and say, "Come on, we want to do this passing left versus inside. Let's do something exciting. Let's just have another 3-2, 4-3. Why not? Number 6."
I had thought that as soon as United equalised with again the most chaos-filled goal you've ever seen. Bruno first time lashing at a ball when Kelleher's out of position and it curls in. I was like, here we go. Liverpool immediately were rattled for 5 minutes then. They were giving the ball away. It's 4-3 time, baby.
Are you laying the blame there to Kelleher's door for that one, being out of position?
No, I'm not, because the fact that I think most players in the league, when a ball, things can go wrong when you're playing out from the back, but it's very rare it lands at the feet of a player who is crazy enough to hit it first time like that.
Yeah, it didn't even go that high.
Curled.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I was like, I feel like Kelleher could have got that. He displayed some of his athleticism there even, But then when on the replay, I saw that he was about a yard or two out of his box. So he had touched this.
Yeah.
It would be red card and then he was off. And then the best job in football becomes a nightmare for Adrian, the third choice keeper. Like, I'm going on the pitch playing.
Yeah.
What? So maybe, do you think Kelleher's like, I better say this? And then went, maybe, am I in the box? And then pull out a bit or no? But
I wonder did it come into his head where he's like, 1-1's not so bad. It's better than me getting sent off. That'd be the end of me as second choice.
yeah, that would have been bad. As it is, he didn't get it, and no one really blames him. I guess they kind of say it's, and then also it's like Quanza's young, so it's like that's not really anybody's fault. It's just one of those freak things that happens. The bravery and then the ability from Bruno to hit it first time. It's just one of those things you can't really say, come on, lads, better than that. But yeah, the second goal was equally kind of out of the blue. The Maino goal.
Yeah, it was the Makeda-ness of the goal. I'm sure you saw the two replays side by side. It even has the same sponsor banner behind it, or sponsored horde, as the Makeda goal. It's crazy. It's literally like, I'll send you a screenshot after this, but it's the same Betfred advert in the exact same placement. Wow. In the exact same part of the pitch in Old Trafford. It's the same technique. It's madness.
Yeah, the other thing that's maybe not similar, or is similar but not quite the same, is that this year it was Liverpool going for the title and Man United are just here to entertain us. They're the jesters.
Yeah, bit of fun.
Oh, watch this, a goal we shouldn't score.
Yeah. And as well, it's funny because we're blowing past. This was like a 2-1. Yeah. The rest of the game was Liverpool quickly went up and they had about 1 million shots in the first half.
So wasteful.
It was
so wasteful.
Yeah, you knew exactly how the game was going to go. It quickly entered, they're going to rue this territory.
Firmly in rue these missed chances territory. And you just knew they were going to rue these missed chances because they weren't scoring any of them.
And because it's Liverpool United in Old Trafford, again, United's chaos ball over the last few weeks, you know they can turn a game around. But especially when you're against Liverpool in Old Trafford, all it takes is a good tackle and the stadium turns and the ball is in Man United's favour now.
Yeah, it is a sleeping giant, that stadium. It can go very quiet, but it doesn't take much to get them going again, and that's That's just what happened. I was looking at that game, Will, and I was thinking, genuinely, Liverpool really do miss Jordan Henderson here.
Yes, someone to, pass it sideways. Let's not get caught up in this, lads.
But do you remember over lockdown when there's no fans in the stadium, you could hear every word that Jordan Henderson was saying? Because he's obviously an experienced player, or he was there, but he's in the middle. So like Van Dijk and Salah are obviously also experienced players, and Alisson, I wasn't playing, but someone who's in the middle who can see the whole game and who can talk to everybody and say, keep it fucking tight, calm it down, don't run at them. Like Klopp was saying that on the sideline, but all the swinging jaws in the world couldn't stop this Liverpool team run at them. You need someone on the pitch to actually get the ball and say, no, like don't run at them, relax.
Yeah.
Like there's a bit there where they were just like the midfield was non-existent. I mean, I know Mane was good, but what does he do off the ball? Where does he go? He just like spawns in for attacks,
And it's because I think he's probably had worse games, but I think that was the last of Casemiro's goodwill, I think, at Old Trafford. I think that was when people were like, okay, this guy is actually washed now. Like he is.
Yeah.
He can't put two passes together. He's not quick enough, which means he fouls more, which... Remember the whole thing of like he's such a clever player in Madrid. Like he'll never get caught for anything. He gets caught for everything now because he just lashes at lads when they get by him.
Although that pass, the over the head pass is pretty clever.
Why does he have space to do an over the head pass in midfield? That's the madness of it.
How do you know he was even there? What that was a pretty good vision, but
he didn't. 100%. He just better hit it somewhere.
But I'm telling you, like prime Casemiro is not stopping this defense, or not stopping. Help this midfield on his own. No one's going to do something. Like, just pass around you. They're too good. These teams are too good. Let's pass around you, run by you. We've seen it before on good teams where good midfielders look like they're bad because they're just completely outnumbered in the middle. I mean, he obviously got done a few times. There's that one where Luis Diaz kind of went by him like he wasn't even there. And, he doesn't want to drag down because he's only on a yellow because he's absolutely cleaned Luis Diaz a few minutes ago. I mean, there is bits of that, but he is fairly isolated there as well with the likes of Bruno and Manu. And again, you don't want to be too harsh on an 18-year-old, but like that is midfield, a guy who wants to score goals and then an 18-year-old and then you who's 32 and has a lot of miles on the clock and you're like asking him to stop Szoboszlai and McAllister running at you at full pelt and Salah on the wings and it's too much. But
yeah, there's an amazing stat, one of the most Man United stats I've ever seen from this season. Referee Anthony Taylor had more interceptions than Man United's midfield three. Anthony Taylor had 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
So it says a lot of, a referee stopping the ball twice in a game is a lot. That's rare, but also 2 interceptions is quite low for a midfield three, I think.
It's less than one apiece.
I'm not an expert.
I'm a mathematician. That's less than 1 per 3 guys,
That means for the 99% rest of the game, they could not stop a pass. They were not in the right place once.
But that was all part of the plan, Will. This is what Ten Hag wanted.
Yeah.
You can't transition from defense if you're not defending.
Exactly.
So you have to get in defense to transition. So they're the best at it, the best in the world.
He was asked after the Brentford game, which again was similar, no midfield, and then they gave it away at the end. But he was asked after that about all the shots on target, which happened again in the Chelsea game, and and he said, "Hey, I'm not concerned about how many shots. It's about the results."
Yeah.
When I heard that, I only saw that today, and I was like, "You should be concerned about the number of shots. That's surely a huge part of your job."
They should also be concerned about the results because they've drawn and lost one the last 2 with this tactic. Yeah. So I mean, he's not getting either. Like you can't say it's
he's not getting anything out of this. He's like, "I'm not worried."
He's not though. He came out and said, "I'm 100% I will be the manager next year." So he must have some guarantee that no one else knows about. But he's not worried at all.
It's like I awoke a few weeks ago and no one else is doing it. Everyone else is just breezing by and letting this happen.
Yeah.
It's insane.
They give so much and they get so little in return. 7th in the table, 1 point from 2 games. It's not a lot to gain for such exciting play, but I'm glad it's there. I'd say Liverpool are raging though. That was bad. I know I said they needed a Jordan Henderson type player, but I asked you last week, can any team be accused of bottling the title away? I know they're still ahead of City and they're level with Arsenal on points, so it's not gone yet. But if they're to lose the next game now, that's when the narrative starts to say, "Oh, maybe they are a bit mentally weak here," But with all these bottling things, that's just like a nice kind of an umbrella term for like what's really happening. And I mean, from that game and all season, because I saw a fail comp of it today, of course, is Darwin Núñez missing chances over and over again.
Yeah. And again, you do think like, oh, at least he's getting there, at least he's getting them. But I don't know, any other year in the last few years where Liverpool have done really well in the league, Salah scored like 30 goals, and then also Firmino scored a lot of goals, and Mane scored a lot of goals. It's just not the same this year without having someone who you can guarantee is always going to be there.
Yeah, the three of them are missing a lot of chances. Luis Diaz, we talked about before, also misses kind of more chances. They think he should probably get at least on target, some of them.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't score goals. And same with Salah, he's scoring goals this year, but he missed a few chances that game as well. The rebound, I thought that's a classic Salah finish. You put that in there.
Yeah.
But he missed that. I think maybe Firmino and maybe more so Mane being in the team before gave Salah a bit more space because you genuinely had to worry about those other two. Whereas like if you see Darwin Núñez, you're definitely keeping more than one eye on Salah. It's like he's going to pass back to him,
Yeah.
Or even that one where Núñez should have cut it back to Szoboszlai and just passed it to nobody in the middle. Like that kind of thing. You're more comfortable that Núñez will do something more like that than he will give the right decision. So I think that affects everyone else's ability to get better shots off as well. So I don't know. It's kind of like he's a great player for your team. Like as a Liverpool fan, if you're watching that, I think, oh yeah, he's hilarious and he's chaotic and we're top of the league, so it's fine. And then when you lose a game like that or you draw a game like that, it's like, all right, this is a problem. Yeah. This isn't fun anymore. This guy sucks.
I was actually never happy with this. I was only pretending.
Get him out, I mean, this is his second year as well, so any kind of like settling into the league kind of stuff is like, all right, this is probably the last chance now. If he doesn't score 30 goals next year, you can start maybe qualifying as a bust.
Yeah, it's just Liverpool didn't look particularly great in that game, even though they had the rub of the game and like all of the shots and all of the chances. But it's just, I think they were lucky in the end that they did get the penalty. It was a penalty, but
was it, man?
It was a soft penalty.
I don't know. I mean, look, this is the thing when you change the rules of the game, to encourage kind of fast players, and you don't want people being kicked out of the game. You don't want people getting injured. You don't want, Eduardo's foot coming off in a Premier League match, and then you don't want that stuff. So you say, all right, no more tackling. Don't touch them at all, and it'll be fine, and we'll have a clean kind of game. But
definitely no slide tackling.
No slide tackling, no grabbing, none of that stuff. Just fast players, skillful players get the benefit of the doubt, But then it gets to a point like that where this is the same thing. When you go up to VAR, it's like, well, there's contact and we've drawn the line there. A dive is purely no contact. If there is contact, we can't overturn it. So it's like, yeah, he flicks the ball away, he sees his foot there, he sticks the leg out. But not that this is a new thing either. I mean, I know I'm kind of framing this as a new thing. There's a clip going around there of, I don't know who it was. Oh yeah, it was Danny Murphy's goals against Man United. I think he has the record of scoring against three games in a row in Old Trafford, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And they showed, someone responded with, Gerrard's assist for the penalty in that game was unreal. Sent Gary Neville to the cleaters ever. He did the same thing, pushed the ball by him, was a bit quicker. Neville goes to slide in. Gerrard sticks the legs out, knowing the contact's coming. That was in 2004, I think. It's like, it's been happening for 20 years at this point. And probably before that. Gerrard didn't invent it either. So like, it's not a new thing, but it's definitely one of those ones when you have the VAR, and you'd say, yeah, he welcomed the contact, we'll say. He stuck the leg out, and then when the VAR sees that, oh, well, that's contact, so... But he wasn't brought down. He wasn't taken out.
No.
He wasn't that, so...
He was already on the way to going down before any contact was made. And he was going down with zero contact. So it was like, well, what was going on there then?
He found the contact on the way down. This is this is the kind of language you use to justify people not having their careers ended by leg breakers. That's the payoff. That's the price you pay for not seeing your favorite player getting taken off on a stretcher and then never seeing them again. It's probably a net gain, but when you see that, it's like, that's not really in the spirit of the game, is it?
Yeah, and the tackle, like as well, sliding in like that in the box, anything can happen. Jamie Redknapp described Wan-Bissaka as having go-go gadget legs. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I don't really get the reference, to be honest.
What's he on?
It sounds like something that makes sense, but I don't remember go-go gadgets. or Inspector Gadget ever doing anything with it.
No.
He used to,
It was his gadgets.
he had the extendo arms and the legs used to extend, but that was to get to tall buildings and windows and stuff to peek in on criminals. But I don't think he was ever tripping people up or kicking people with the legs.
No. And surely you'd say Wan-Bissaka has go-go gadget legs when he uses them, when he does it, when he pulls off a tackle.
Yeah.
Not when he takes someone down.
Classic Inspector Gadget messing up the case by tripping somebody up
with his gadgets.
accidentally. It was a great game to watch.
I'm done with them now, though. I would love the next United game to be like a 1-0 win, even a 0-0 draw. I need a break.
Well, this is like what happened last week when Chelsea fans were saying this is the worst win we've ever had because Pochettino is here now to stay.
Yeah,
it's very similar to Ten Hag. Like you unbeaten against Liverpool. That means something, Will.
Unfortunately, yes.
That's part of more time with some of the fans, and I guess he already has guarantees from the powers that be because he's very confident about being manager next year. So, yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's going to change his style. If anything, this is emboldened him. They're like, hey, it works 50% of the time, you know? So, yeah, it was 2 points dropped by Liverpool. Like I say, they aren't, out of the title race by any stretch of imagination. They're still ahead of City, which a lot of people look at and go, well, that's the competition. Arsenal will fall away. Don't worry about that. Maybe they will this year. Maybe they won't.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like Arsenal now, week to week, are comfortably the best team in the league, which it seems crazy.
It does seem crazy. It does.
But they are. They're again, they never get drawn into these chaos games. Liverpool do, and City this year have had a few mad results, or like a few games like, whoa, you lost control of that a bit there. Yeah. Arsenal, I don't remember a single game this year where they were out of control.
Yeah, as opposed to last year where the last 12 games were all
madness.
All on emotion, all on like this could be the year we do it.
The Porto game maybe was the only one, the first Porto game.
But that was the opposite really, because they were just like, let's try and break them down slowly, and Porto said we're going to defend for the whole game, and you can't exploit mistake if you don't make mistake. Yeah. And then Arsenal made a mistake. It's like, oh, that didn't work, and then the next game it did work, I guess. But whatever, the example of the opposite is City, who went 1-0 down to Crystal Palace.
Yes.
Now they are a classic kind of ruin the party team as well. They have a lot of history of getting draws and getting wins against teams that like, whoa, Crystal Palace, the 12th in the table, Crystal Palace.
At this stage of the season, that seems crazy.
Yeah. Dwight Gale scored how many goals? Like they do have form in that area. They went one up. Yeah, City didn't panic. Maybe probably didn't panic. They did their system. They have players like Kevin De Bruyne. He got 2 goals and 2 assists in a 4-2 win, 4-1 win.
4-2.
He was unbelievable. This is Kevin De Bruyne, who was dropped last week after his pitiful performance against Arsenal. Phil Foden, who scored the hat-trick, maybe getting a bit too much praise. Maybe people don't realize that Pep told him to score those goals. So he's dropped. He's out. Not a minute to play for him.
A delicate balancing act.
Yeah, their squad is insane, because this is the passing of the torch. Like, they're both good now. They're both arguably the best player now. So it's tough to see past that when they can rest players and bring players in. I mean, for them, they have the Champions League as well as Arsenal. So you'd imagine they'll probably go to the final as well, looking at the draw. But you never know. They have Real Madrid, which isn't easy.
And I saw Pep speaking about how I don't think they have Kyle Walker for that game. And he was like, hey, well, Kyle Walker was huge every time we've played Real Madrid in the last few years. Like, because it was always him versus Vinicius, wasn't it? So, yes. And he's always gotten the better of him, except remember there was that one goal where he totally turned him.
I actually saw that goal today, and it turns out that was for Fernandinho.
Oh, yeah, see? I knew there was no way that happened to Kyle Walker, because even if you turn him, he'd catch you.
The pace. He's always on the pace to get back to you, So yeah, that could be huge. They also didn't have Bellingham last time they played. And I think Tchouaméni and Camavinga have also got a bit better. So I don't know. It'll be a big game. Rudiger was speaking about how they want revenge, which usually backfires or is a great night. It can go either way when someone has revenge. So you shouldn't read into that too much, but that's probably the last team left in it who can beat them, I'd say.
Yeah, and what makes it more of a grudge match, which is very funny, I thought. We had that interview with Rudiger saying, we want revenge. Did you see they've also applied or they asked UEFA, I guess it's UEFA they asked, can they play with the stadium closed, even though the weather's fine, for more like a better atmosphere? So they're going full blown, we want revenge, hell in a cell match.
Oh, yeah. Close the cage.
Yeah, no escape.
Winner leaves, and then we come back for the second leg, and hopefully we'll have an advantage in that game. Yeah, real grudge match stuff. But that's the thing with City. Like, they have a big schedule. They have a bit more injuries than they usually have, because players like Stones and Walker and De Bruyne are getting a bit older, so they're maybe not as robust as they used to be. They are 1 point behind Liverpool now. There's 6 games left to play. They won't panic. That's the thing. They're not gonna bottle it. They're not gonna lose to a Crystal Palace or a Luton or an Everton or anything like that.
Yeah.
Arsenal are unproven in that area, but they look better.
Yeah, it's the last 2 weeks where you would see the difference, I think, between City and Arsenal, because City have won so many leagues now in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Whereas, again, Arsenal, they're doing better now than they were at this stage last year, but it's when it's really like, you actually are about to win this, lads. As long as you hold this 1-0 lead. It's those type of things that we've never seen Arsenal doing.
And also they have this game against Bayern Munich coming up.
Yes.
So that's a big dispelling of demons match as well. Like, if they were to do that, then it's like, lads, the Champions League's on. We beat Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
That's another kind of a separate, huge thing. They have been in the Champions League for years, haven't ever won it. Last time the final was 2006. That's another huge kind of monkey off the back where, like, I think it's United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and City have all won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Multiple times at this point. And Arsenal have won it once. So, like, you can pretend like you're one of the big boys, but until you win the Champions League. So, like, there's a whole different narrative going on there. Like, should we concentrate on the league? Would we ever get like, this is the last version of this Champions League as well. So, like, next year, you don't know how it's going to affect, how it's going to be affecting English teams over other teams. Like, it's also a great chance for that. So there's two different things there for Arsenal that you might say that could be the one that distracts them. Not that they're not, strong or robust physically or mentally weak or whatever it is. It's just like, it's two kind of unknown areas for this team. So, yeah, I think Liverpool still have a good chance, but they need to calm it down a bit. They can't be getting dragged into these, you've go, we've go, because that's just not how you see out wins.
And especially, again, when you don't have Haaland up top, you have Darwin Núñez. So it's like, all right, let's go goal for goal. It's like the other team might beat you.
Yeah, that's it. Even with Salah, like the way he's playing, I wouldn't back him to get these chances. Even when he took the penalty, I was like, oh, I've seen him miss these before. I was like, why isn't Alexis McAllister taking this? This guy is really scoring well, but yeah, that's the kind of faith you have in him. Whereas if that was Haaland, like, this is going in.
Yeah, exactly.
100% is going in. And he scored again against Crystal Palace. The League Two player scored in a Premier League game. Must be great for him.
Crazy. Well, he must be the best League Two player of all time.
I mean, I don't know how many League Two players you could bring into that City side and how many goals they score. But we did have a poll, actually, Will. We have been talking about this before, but I think it's time to do it again. It's, speaking, I guess, of Haaland and how, you can go from, like, record breaker to League Two player. Who are people saying is the best player in the world right now, this second, as we speak?
I am the best in the world at what I do.
Riyad Mahrez. You're the best. He's arguably the best player in the world right now.
The last time we did this, so I was looking at the last ones. The overwhelming majority last time was Jude Bellingham, best player in the world right now. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
That was the majority. There was a few others like Haaland and...
well, Haaland was there, was he? Who were the nominees last time?
Yeah, he was in the nominees once last time. This time, no mention of Haaland. One, Jude Bellingham. And then it's a mixed bag of players. I will say a lot more comedy responses than usual, which is nice, but also annoying for our segment.
Well, that's okay, because I've taken a poll on people on X as well.
Perfect.
I found my own little group of people. I mean, the best player in the world right now, mainly what it is, number one, it's recency bias.
Yeah. 2,
it's clutching at straws from what I've seen. And then 3, it's kind of bait to kind of get engagement, to say this thing and to say, isn't this guy the best player in the world? Like some of them, the best ones I see are like X is the best player in the world, and there's no debate. To really and it's not even close. To rile people up to say, don't even respond to this. Like, I will respond because this is an open platform, fella. I'm going to come back with my opinion. That's what they want you to do, and invariably they do. And they come back with stats. They come back with XG. It's hilarious, but it works every time.
There's a few of those in our poll as well. We got De Bruyne. Couldn't name a World 11 without him in it.
Oh, there you go. It's done. No debate.
Yeah. Form is temporary, class is permanent. KDB. It's right
that's
now.
That's not literally not what we're talking about.
And then another one, by God, it's KDB again. So a lot of people are saying KDB at the moment.
Was this before or after his
I think it was during.
During. As it was happening. Actually, I changed my answer to KDB.
And then there was also a shout for high-flying powerhouse left-back Mo Sislak.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, again, that's more of a class as permanent, to be fair. I haven't seen what he's done recently. I haven't watched Simpsons in a while. I have a best player in the world nominees. I also have by position, Will. And this is my favourite one because this is the clutching of straws I was referring to earlier. Because if you have a player from your club that you love, you want to say he's the best player in the world, but in your heart, even as deluded as you are, you can't bring yourself to say it. There's a few people who are saying he's definitely like one of the best top five players in the world right now. It's like top 5 in the world right now. It's really shite. I did say what Jack Butland, I think he's playing for Rangers. They drew 3-3 there at the weekend with the Celtic, and someone said he's definitely the best British keeper in the world right now. And I was like, oh, come on, like, give over, will you? But anyways, I think I'll start up front, right? Best striker in the world right now is hilarious because if you can say you're the best striker in the world, people will agree then that you're the best player in the world because goals is all that matters when it comes to these kind of competitions, these polls. So I have Osimhen. People are saying Osimhen's the best striker in the world right now. Isak, he's in good form, but I mean, arguably, I guess. Harry Kane, of course, he's still banging in those meaningless goals for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, we didn't get any Harry Kanes this time. We got a few last time.
He's only in the best striker category this year. He hasn't got the Oscar for leading role. He's just kind of supporting actor here. And then Haaland as well, best striker. One of those kind of, you're all clowns. Don't give me one bad game. He's the best striker in the world. Man City fans defending Haaland mainly for that one. I don't know. Who would you see as the best striker in the world right now? Who do you think is the best striker? I think I don't care, to be honest.
I think that's the real answer. Because again, I'm not going to be like, it's Harry Kane. I haven't seen 5 minutes of Harry Kane this year.
I've seen Isaac score a lot of goals, but I haven't seen any of Osimhen. I haven't seen the Champions League, so I can't really comment, Also, it doesn't really matter because, again, if you were that good, you'd be saying... Anyway, in goalkeeper then, well, this is another one. This is very kind of Premier League pilled, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't type in best player in the world right now in different languages because I don't know what that translates to. But the two overwhelming ones I got was David Raya, which, all right, fair. And then Onana. He's made the most saves in the Premier League this year, Will. I also saw the second in the saves list was the Luton keeper. So maybe it's just he's got a lot of shots kicked at him.
Yeah, which we know. That is literally the thing. It feels like every game, it's like a new record for the most shots taken at an idiot in the goal.
So yeah, they were the two Premier League ones. Someone else said on X, Donnarumma is the best goalkeeper in the world right now. He has performed miracles, Will, at PSG. This man is the Messiah. Someone then responded, the best goalkeeper in the world. Aha, aha, ha, 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 ha. He was laughing so hard he couldn't even put the H's and the A's in the right order.
He was screaming.
This guy, whose username is just Paris. It's not me who says this, it's the numbers that speak, which is translated, obviously, but, And he has this graph, in French graph. It's XG, OT, and then recuse, which is receive in French. So I'm guessing shots received and then shots saved. He has 29.36 shot received and 13.36 shots saved, which is an average of 45.5% saved, Will. He's at the top of the list across Europe. Few other names I've never heard of on this list, but he's statistically the best keeper, Will. Donnarumma is the best keeper in the world right now, and it's not even close.
There you go.
Case closed.
Miracles. He's saving the ball.
PSG are top of the league. Who do you think I have to thank for that?
Yeah.
It's not Mbappe. I'll run to the rest of them. We had best defender, Gabriel. I was like, all right, come on. I don't know about that, you know. Gabriel, Ruben Diaz, Tony Rudiger, Bastoni Will is up there. Best midfielder Will. Any guesses for that?
Ooh, Rodri, surely.
Oh, he's in there.
Yeah. Who else? McAllister, I could see right now.
Yeah, right now. It's indisputable that he's one of the best in the world right now.
Who else? Bellingham, of course. Although I haven't seen as much of Bellingham lately.
No, he wasn't in there, Will. It wasn't there. Again, this is only people who
Gone.
speak
He's
English.
forgotten.
Yeah. De Bruyne and Manu also got shouts as the best midfielder in the world
Manu.
now. Right now. Can you argue right now?
He did score.
He scored a goal. He did a goal. So, I mean, what more evidence do you need? He's 18. He's a child. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that we're saying. But this is all bait as well, because then you get the McAllister fans saying, he wouldn't lace McAllister's boots. And he'd be lucky to be on the same pitch as Manu. You know, and it's just, it's all good. Now, the real issue here is how many of those players have been nominated for best player in the world? Who has been brave enough to tweet out that Gabriel or Bastoni is the best player in the world? Not many, Will.
Yeah, you wouldn't dare.
The ones I'm seeing are Rodri, to be fair. He's still consistent up there. Cole Palmer, best player in the world right now.
What spurred this on originally was I sent you a screenshot from one of the football accounts, one of the big ones,
Yeah.
saying, could you name 3 players in the world better than Cole Palmer right now?
Yeah, it's bait. It's just bait. Manu also nominated by people on Twitter as the best player in the world.
World. Wow.
In the world. Phil Foden as well, TalkSport, tweeted out a very similar thing to that after his hat-trick.
Yeah.
That same weekend.
Yeah.
Is he the best player in the world now? Is that a fair question? That's just classic English kind of hype up.
Yeah.
Again, there's probably this happening in other countries as well. I just haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, these are the ones. And then there was one where there was an interview with Gabriel, the centre back from Arsenal, who they asked him who the best player in the world right now is, and he said Mbappe.
He's got a good head on his shoulders.
So, I mean, maybe he's still thinking the World Cup in 2022. I don't know when the last time he played Mbappe, or I don't know how much French league games he watches as a Brazilian centre back. I don't know, but nevertheless, a lot of people ran with that and were quote tweeting that and showing that. So, I don't know. What was the answer to the poll? Will, what was the verdict in the poll?
Yeah, so it was KDB was our number one.
Really?
In our fans.
Best player in the world right now.
Best player in the world right now was KDB. And then we also got a shout for Vinicius Jr. And then we got one interesting one, which we'll move on to next. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this right. Gyökeres for Sporting Lisbon. Who I'm not on the ball enough, so I had to look him up. And the first thing I saw was, this guy has a cool celebration.
Oh, yeah?
He does like the Bane mask with his hands, which is...
That's cool.
It's a nice touch. Again, the mask celebration is always successful. And then that got me thinking of Dybala, who did the face mask at the height of Mask Off by Future.
Oh, yeah.
And how that blew his career to sky high, to new proportions. And it has made me think, like, what players in the world have just been lost to the sands of time because they never came up with a cool celebration?
Yeah. Or the players that were kind of okay but had memorable celebrations that propelled them to, like, certified ballers.
Stardom, yeah. And then it just opened a whole world of... Because there's so many different elements to it. Like you said, there's the ones who were okay but then are perceived as better because they do a cool thing that's memorable, and then the opposite. But then there's also players who've tried and failed, like the Jesse Lingards, who did the JL with his hands. But he was never consistent enough with it. He always had a new celebration every week.
Yeah, branding isn't cool.
No.
Like, personal branding is not cool. That's not going to get you any fans, because that's just like, I'm waiting for the merch to drop. And it did. And it certainly did. And he had the dance every week. If he had one dance every week, that would be more kind of...
That's key. When was Pogba at the height of his fame? I think when he was hitting the dab every single week.
Yeah. Again, you're riding trends there. You know, the dab was always going to be gone. You know, you got to have your own thing. I'm thinking of... do you remember Nikas Nelka's hand thing?
Yes.
The hand butterflies?
Kind of eagle-y thing, yeah.
Now, he was obviously good before and after that, but that was That was like okay, this guy's doing something.
This
cool.
guy's cold.
This guy's playing for both and he's scoring goals. And he's also doing cool his hands.
Yeah.
Which, it gets you on the highlight clips, you know?
Yeah.
Another one I'm thinking of, do you remember Gomez, who played for Swansea? Do you remember he used to do the crawling lion?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, if he was Gomez and he just did a casual fist pump after every goal, I probably wouldn't remember him.
No, he was bang average. Like, he didn't score half that many goals, but we still remember the celebration of him crawling on the pitch. Harry Kane does that the same every time. The kind of
He needs one. He needs he needs to come up with a new mask, maybe some kind of luchador thing or goggles or something.
I mean, he is being nominated every week for the best player in the world right now, so maybe he doesn't need it. I think if you score a lot of goals, it's rare to have a signature celebration. The only one I can think of is Robbie Keane. He scored a lot of goals.
He had it all.
He had a very memorable celebration.
With a lot of layers to the celebration too. You do the roll and then the ping finger guns.
Yeah, you what was it? You run, you roll, finger guns.
Was there 2 rolls?
I think I remember it now. It's bad. I don't remember Robbie Keane's celebration.
There was definitely the front roll followed by the finger guns, bang, bang, bang.
Maybe, was that it? God, that seems kind of lame now.
Was there 2 rolls? It does seem very funny to imagine him coming up with it. I've never thought of it before.
It's pretty unathletic. A roly-poly and then finger guns. It's
very white.
Yeah. Well, don't call it roly-poly, you know. Oh, Nani used to have a good few flips in his celebrations.
The flips, and he had the added element of Alex Ferguson would always give out about it too. So it's like, oh, this guy can't be contained.
Bad boy. You know, he wasn't a prolific scorer like Ronaldo or Rooney or something like that. But I mean, he had the flip when he did score. He used to point to his jersey a lot as well.
Yeah.
So people had forgotten. Yeah, we had forgotten that you could score goals. It's been 6 games, Nani, you know. But again, it adds the aura, I guess. This is like the origins of aura.
Again, I think most people, Cole Palmer came onto most people's radar when he started doing the shiver thing. He had already scored probably like 10 goals and got 5 assists at that stage. But it was when he started doing the shiver, people started going, is he the coldest player in the world right now? That's when it really sets you apart.
His name sounds like cold. Maybe he is cold, you know? He does a celebration. And that's kind of like branding, but it's on the edge there of like if he was doing a C for Cole Palmer, like, nah, that's dumb. But cold,
if he was doing CP.
Yeah, cold Palmer. No, I don't like that at all. But if you just do the action, people will make the jump themselves. That's how you get iconic with celebration.
Yeah, and it's always, if you're a player out there and you have an okay career, you know, you're in the Premier League and you've scored 10 goals, average like that, you need to come up with something cool. And you need to do it week in, week out, never change.
I'm trying to think of other ones.
Well, Rashford last year, peak of his career, tap the head. Simple,
point of the head.
effective, easily imitable. I wasn't going around doing Nani's flips, but I definitely did Robbie Keane's at some stage.
Oh, how could we forget? Well, the Ronaldo Sue.
Of course, yeah. That propelled him to superstardom.
It really did. And as if he wasn't famous enough already, hadn't achieved so much. But when he started doing that,
he had a renaissance as well. When, like in the last few years, right before he got to United, the Sue was everywhere. But he had been doing it for years before that.
It started at the Ballon d'Or that he wasn't expected to win.
Yeah.
And he just was overcome with emotion. Apparently Sue just means yeah in Portuguese. So he got like, yeah! And I was like, whoa, this guy really likes this kind of bullshit award, you know? It's just like, haven't you won like 4 Champions Leagues? This is like an individual award. And that became this meme. And then he's like, right, well, I better get ahead of the joke. And then he started doing it. But when you think about it, like, if you were to speak Portuguese, he'd come up with this being like, I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to say, yeah, but I'm going to run and then turn.
Spin, yeah.
And spin and just put my hands on kind of thrust, you know?
Yeah.
Remember I saw those people, like those kids in the car park doing that?
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody can run across traffic and do the Sue, you know?
Yeah.
Very clever marketing from Cristiano. Another player who didn't need a celebration, but when he did it, it does propel you to, oh yeah, this guy's
new heights
because you want to do the thing that he does.
Yeah, and again, like Messi never really had a celebration. He was more just a chill guy, but he did have the moment where he took off the jersey, and I think that's like the pinnacle of Messi is him. But that's a different thing though, because that is that's also outrageously provocative to the fans in the stadium too. Like, you know what I mean? You can't be doing that every week.
There was, I think it was this week or maybe last week. No, I think it was this week against Crystal Palace. Rico Lewis scored a goal and then was doing the hand talking in his ear. It's like, yeah, keep talking. And I saw someone kind of tweet like, no one has ever talked about you, pal, you know. But when you hold the jersey, that's the ultimate like shushing the crowd, or can I hear you now? It's like, this is who you're talking about. Remember who you're talking about. This guy in the back jersey, me. Like, it was the ultimate shushing of a crowd, shushing of the haters. He probably scored in like 2 games and people were saying it's washed, he's finished. And he came back with that. But you can't do that every week. You can't take off the jersey every week, because if we're all saying how great you are, then it doesn't really work. So
no.
I think we need more iconic celebrations. If you are a struggling Premier League player who wants to score goals, celebrations. Even if you're a player who scores a lot of goals, Ivan Toney now, if he had a imitable celebration,
something to do with gambling, maybe
rolling the dice, you know, he gets his teammate to blow the dice and he rolls them down. You know?
A big pretend roulette wheel, maybe.
Oh, he spins a big wheel, and then all the players look around, look at him, waiting for the wheel to spin, and then he loses and he goes fuck, and then they go back to the centre circle.
They put him in pretend handcuffs.
That would be good. Rolling the dice, and then someone comes and puts him in handcuffs. That would be very, very good.
Tell you, he'd be at Man United in a week.
Oh yeah, they think of the shirt sales. He'd pay for himself in shirt sales. But speaking of branding, Will, we all know about the phenomenon of commentators who say players' full names.
First name.
I think some people broke it down with a 2-syllable thing, like Reece James always gets the double. Dan James, you know, Ruud Gullit was another one. Kind of 3 to 2 syllables. They like to say the full name. But what are players who have more than one name, but we only know them by one name?
Yeah,
you know. Now I have 11 of these players, of course, and it's 2-pronged, right? I want you to agree or disagree if you have ever heard these players by more than one name.
Oh, okay.
And then 2, you tell me if you actually do know their name. You know, so you can agree that you only hear them by one name, but you get a point for every player that you can name their full name. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I've given myself one thing where these have to be players that you know of, because I can obviously name players that you don't know the first or second name, what they look like, or what they played for, but that wouldn't really
in goal. Xander.
I bet you know his full name. You know, so hopefully this meets all the criteria, right? But I'll start in goal, right? Ederson.
Oh,
have you ever heard his full name?
No, but I would say it's like quadruple barreled. A lot of those Brazilian players have like really long names.
They do, but this guy doesn't.
Ooh.
Try to hear it? Ederson Santana de Moraes. Not that long.
Not that long, yeah.
Ederson de Moraes, really. Santana's probably just his middle name.
Ooh. Would he be as... Ederson's definitely a better goalkeeper name than de Moraes.
De Moraes. I mean, it's more of a kind of right back stand, to be honest.
He still sounds like a good player, though. I'd still be like, get him in.
Yeah, we signed De Moraes this summer for, I think, 45 million, but he's really good at PSV, so I got high hopes for him. You know, you can see it. Left back, Will. Mm-hmm. Now, you might know this one, but I think you can agree that you only ever hear this guy's first name, or this guy's second name. Estupiñán.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. I'm going to guess Carlos, but I don't think...
No, it's not Carlos, but I think people don't say this name because it's close to another word and they don't want to say it.
I know what it is. Is it Pervian?
Close. Pervis, even worse.
Oh, I knew there was perv in it. Yeah, you can't be calling them perv. Old pervy.
No one's calling Pervis Estupiñán. No one's risking that ever. Pervert Estupiñán there on the ball. You can see it now. He's only ever known as Estupiñán, but I'll give you 1 point there because you got pervert. What'd you say?
I said Pervian, I think, something like that.
Well, okay, fine. I'll give you 1 point for that. All right, centre back then. Alex. Remember him from Chelsea, centre back?
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, it could be anything.
But I've never heard him. I never heard his full name mentioned. Again, those Brazilians do have long names, you know. Alex Rodrigo Diaz da Costa.
Oh, yeah. You could get any of them. Alex is probably the most unique one. You can't call him Da Costa. There's loads of them.
Da Costa, Diaz, or Rodrigo. I mean, Alex is definitely the most standoutish there. They have Chelsea and PSG back in the day. Scored that great goal. I think he won goal of the month that time. Do you know when he lashed against Arsenal? Unbelievable. Alongside him, we have the current Bayern Munich and former Napoli centre back Kim.
Ooh, I don't want to guess.
I think that's why people don't use his full name.
Yeah,
because it's like I don't want to even chance this because I might be wrong.
Yeah, I know it's probably 2 one-syllable ones. I know probably what they sound like, but I don't know them.
Kim Min Jae. I've never heard him called that.
Yes.
It's only ever Kim.
No,
you know, but that
Kim.
seems to be his full name. At right back, Lauren of Arsenal. Do you remember him?
Ooh,
One of the Invincibles back in the day. I thought he was French, but he's Cameroonian. Yeah, his full name is Lauren Bissan Etaman Mayer. So again, if you got a lot of names, just pick one. You know,
pick one.
You can't have them all. So he went with Lauren. But
yeah, don't be greedy.
No one's ever called him Lauren Bissan Etaman Mayer ever. So in the middle, then, in defensive mids, I have a name that's so hard to pronounce that people only focus on this and forget his other name.
Yeah,
it is of course the Turkish international Çalhanoğlu.
Oh yeah, is his first name Ethan?
No, you're thinking of Ethan Mpandanu.
Yeah, I think so.
Shit, I should put him in the team. No, his name, and people are probably screaming at their podcast listening devices now, because they probably do know this one. It's Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
Of course, yeah.
You've heard that before, haven't you? For sure.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
But definitely, as a commentator, if you get assigned to an Inter Milan game, you're thinking, okay, right, first things first, get the phonetics pronunciation of this name. You say it 10 times in the mirror, and then you're not going to try and mess around and say Hakan as well, in case you mess it up, you know?
That's chaos. Yeah, you're asking for trouble.
Alongside him, Will, in midfield, I have Rodri, or Rodrigo, as he has on the back of his Spanish jersey, for Man City.
I've never even considered that he has a first or second name.
To be fair, it's only one name, really. Only one other name, but you can't guess it, no?
No, I've no idea. I've never even considered what the rest of his name is.
Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante.
How come he's allowed a nickname? Because his name's not Rodri.
Yeah, Rodrigo for Spain, Rodri for Man City. I remember hearing Fernandinho saying that he's worried about his name, that they wouldn't be able to pronounce it over here because he wasn't kind of aware of the aura that Dino had over here. But he's like, that's
yeah.
That's way
we know plenty of them, pal. No
yeah. But he's like, that's too many syllables for these boys. So I'd say Rodrigo's like, nah, I'm not gonna even chance it. Rodri, just call me R, big R. Just call me, you know. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they might just think it's spelled Rodrey. They'll get it then.
Yeah, I mean, he probably heard stories of the Chelsea players calling Azpilicueta Dave for years because they couldn't pronounce his name. It's like, just call me whatever.
Well, that's hugely offensive. Let's not do that.
Except Rodrigo for the Spanish national teams, like they know how to pronounce it, but these lads over here, I don't know, these knuckle draggers won't be able to say it.
Yeah, it doesn't really say a lot for the foreign talent's opinion of the English commentators or players or fans.
Yeah, but for whatever reason,
they won't even bother. They're not going to bother no one.
Yeah, Rodrigo Hernandez. I mean, that'd be easy to say, but Cascante, maybe, I don't know. But I never ever heard him called Rodrigo Hernandez. So
no, never.
Alongside him, Will, you might get this one: Bentancur for Spurs.
Oh, is it Fernand Bentancur or I've no idea.
You're going to kick yourself.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah,
you're going to kick yourself. It's Rodrigo.
Oh, I was thinking that, but I'm thinking that because the last guy was Rodrigo.
Rodrigo Bentancur Coleman.
That's mad.
Yeah. I guess he'd want to be Colman.
Could he have played for us?
Maybe. I'm sure we probably rang him at one point and he didn't answer us. On the left, Will, in the same vein as Çalhanoğlu, tough to pronounce, so tough to pronounce that you forget he even has a first name. Napoli's pronunciation.
Go on.
Kvaratskhelia.
Oh, we've been getting that so wrong for months.
Kvaratskhelia for Napoli. Can you guess what his first name is? Have you ever heard his first name?
Never. To be honest, I've never even really attempted the second name.
Kvaratskhelia. I've tried a few times and I forget and I have to look it up again. Kvaratskhelia.
Oh, that's a tough one now.
Yeah. I think that's the same thing now, even more so than Hanglaglu. If you get the second name right, fair play. Don't dick around and try the first name. Don't try and be a hero. He doesn't need that. Yeah, he's on the left. On the right, then, this is kind of a cult classic of a player. He played for Celtic back in the day. Nakamura. Remember the free kicks?
Shinsuke.
I'll give it to you. Shinsuke.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Shinsuke.
I don't know. I think it's pronounced Shinsuke Nakamura, which is a great name. And honestly, an underrated great footballer name. It just really rolls off the tongue.
The reason I know that is because there is a wrestler in the WWE, exact same name, first name, second name.
Yeah, cult classic. But again, I don't think I've ever heard a commentator say Shinsuke Nakamura. It was always, again, because it's like, foreign name. I don't know what to do here. And just go for the Nakamura.
I remember it from, do you remember that? I think it was a Vine.
Yeah.
Where the little Scottish boy gets him on FIFA in a pack and he's trying to pronounce it. And his dad in the background go, it's Shinsuke Nakamura, you fucking donut.
Play the clip.
Alright, so the first we've got a subject for you. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura, you fucking dope.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, that kind of proves and disproves my point in one. But I'm going
to go either
with,
way, yeah.
Yeah. And then up top, I should say, up front. Up top, we have Eusebio, Will.
Oh, no. Again, I would say it's like Rodrigo dos Santos, the Eusebio, or something like that.
Eusebio is his first name. Eusebio da Silva Ferreira.
Oh, the Silva.
Yeah, and that's the team. I think you got a couple in there, but I think most of them, you'd say. And to be fair, I think I'm quite proud of myself this one, Will, because I could have gone the easy route. I could have gone with just all Brazilians, and you'd never guess them because I was researching, and apparently most of them are nicknames. Like Kaká is a nickname. Pele is a nickname. Apparently his favorite player was like Bebe, and he would call them Pebe. And that went to Pele, and people started calling him Pele. That's a nickname. Not anything to do with his name.
That's mad.
Ronaldinho, Will. You know what that means?
No idea. Some little something, I'd say.
Little Ronaldo. His name's Ronaldo.
That's crazy.
More Ronaldo's
His name's Ronaldo.
More Ronaldo's won the Ballon d'Or than any other named player ever. It's crazy. But yeah.
That's mad.
It's kind of like if you called Robbie Keane to make small or Keane.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm proud of myself. I didn't go down that route. I could have picked a lot of fake nicknames, but only two Brazilians in there and one Portuguese. So yeah, that's your 11 this week.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I don't know how much people will.
Well, if you were screaming out other names that you think only go by one name, let us know. Reply on Spotify or Apple. Comment below. Send us a DM of players you missed out there. Give us your own thoughts on one name players. For us, we have Champions League tonight, actually.
Yeah, we have a double header tonight at the same time.
At the same time?
City Madrid and Arsenal Bayern both on at 8 o'clock, I think.
Oh, God, why?
So annoying. Yeah, spread them out, boys. Swap them around.
Yeah, come on, content. This is just basic stuff. You get two good games there.
Yeah, you don't have both the Premier League games on at the same time. That's all anyone in Ireland's watching.
Do you think this round will be more exciting than the last couple rounds? Is this where it really starts to kick off, or is it going to be like City Arsenal, where it's just passing around and nobody taking any risks?
I think this leg, maybe not, but I think the second leg, very exciting. That's my thought. Because it's like you don't want to lose the game in the first half hour of 180 minutes of football. Like,
yeah, that's true. What are your thoughts for who's going through? Is it going to be Real Madrid's revenge or City to dominate again?
I don't know. I don't think City will dominate Madrid like they did last year. I do think it'll be a bit closer, especially if Madrid can get the barbed wire Hell in a Cell, if that's allowed. That'd be a real cauldron then.
Get the jackhammer from underneath the stadium.
Yeah, I think it'll be Arsenal and City going through tonight. Well, in tonight's set of fixtures, like.
Okay, fair enough. We will be back on Friday, I suppose, covering those games. We'll review these predictions from Will. And that'll be all available for the Ultras. Ultras at the link below here. Become an Ultra today. $4.50 a month on Patreon. If you're interested in that, like, fuck that, lads. It was a terrible episode. I'm not paying for the next one. If that's what your thought is, you can at least give us a rating on Spotify or Apple, or
Maybe not based on today's episode.
well, if you think, all right, it's good, lads, but don't get ahead of yourselves. I'm not paying for the next one. Like, give me 100 more episodes. Maybe I'll think about it. If that's what you're thinking, help us get to 100 more episodes. Rate the episodes. Share, tell your friends. Promote us, do free promotion for us, maybe do up some advertising for us, design that for us and send it to us for free. Whatever.
Do a 6-month free internship.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Just to do some pro bono work for us. If, that or subscribe to Patreon. Either or. Up to you.
Yeah, those are the options.
We'll be back, like I say, this Friday with the Patreon episode, and then back again next week for more Premier League. It's no break, is there?
Yep.
Thank God.
No breaks. No more breaks now. 6 more weeks and that's it.
This is the final stretch. This is the run-in.
It's happening.
Well, we'll be there for it, and we'll be there beyond that to the Euros. That's also coming this summer. So, yeah, it's a great time to be a part of the journey, Will, for all the new fans out there. And for all the old fans, thanks for staying with us this long.
Yep. That's a nice ending.
Anything else to say?
I'd say it.
Oh, should we talk about the Everton point deduction, maybe? No.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
We did 2 bits and didn't do any of the other news. I know, we'll leave it.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah.